Picture this, a town where dying was illegal. Sounds like a location for a dystopian horror film. But this is not a setup to a poorly written joke. Welcome to Longyearbyen, the town in the depths of the Arctic Circle where dying is technically illegal. You might be thinking, dying is a non-negotiable part of life. So why would a place go out of their way to make a policy about it? Well, take Longyearbyen, a town with more polar bears than humans. Sitting in the depths of Svalbard, Norway, is the northernmost town in the world with a population of just over 2,000 people. Longyearbyen is so far north that the sun does not rise for 4 months, then stays up for 4 months straight. It is that north that they have the northernmost everything. They had gotten the credit for the northernmost church, ATM, post office, museum, commercial airport, university, you get it. The town of Longyearbyen is so dangerous in fact that you need a rifle just to take a stroll outside of the city. Longyearbyen is one of the coldest places on earth, except for maybe when your freezer is overperforming. It is so cold in fact that the coldest day ever there was recorded at negative 46 degrees, though it frequently hovers around negative 15 degrees in the winter. Now, imagine living in such a cold town with grounds that are frozen year-round. The permanent frost on the grounds would make traditional burial methods almost impossible. In such temperatures, the buried bodies would never decompose, unless maybe when global warming speeds things up in the worst possible way, which means that the bacteria of the corpse would thank you for keeping it in prime conditions. Turns out, if corpses were preserved in the right circumstances, then any virus or bacteria being carried by the corpse's owner would also be frozen with it, which is great if you're a virus trying to time travel. This scenario was brought into policymakers' eyes in the 1950s when they realized that the cold weather was preventing the bodies from properly decomposing. So, out of safety concerns, they prohibited any burial to happen within town limits, and to further discourage someone from dying there, they shut down all the cemeteries. Luckily, this policy was passed earlier to prevent more cases, as this is exactly what happened in the 1990s when scientists were excavating some bodies to learn about how the ground stays frozen year long. They did tests and found 11 corpses from people who passed away in 1918 from the influenza pandemic. Killing under the grounds of Longyearbyen was a virus that killed 5% of the world's population at the time. The same virus was found properly preserved, even though it was dug up 72 years since the incident. This was important as if the surroundings began warming up, there is a possibility for the viruses to cause another outbreak. Although cremation is allowed here, it's just not feasible in Longyearbyen. I get how it's technically not feasible for me to rule the world. Oh gosh, the imaginary world dominator might come for me. Pretend you heard nothing. With its low population and the strict environmental regulations in Svalbard, there's not enough demand to justify building and maintaining one in such an isolated town. If you're near death, you must embark on a 1,000-kilometer journey to mainland Norway, most commonly the city of Tromsø, where you would live the remainder of your lives. The Midnight Sun Marathon, where runners race at midnight in full daylight during the summer, it's 24 hours sunlight, is also known for having a full hospital with advanced medical care. Not only are you prohibited to die in Longyearbyen, pregnant women are not allowed to give birth there as there isn't a proper medical center, as cases like this are very far and few in between. For this reason, pregnant women are encouraged to move to the mainland when their due dates are getting close. If someone was unfortunate to die in Longyearbyen, well, that's more complicated. Their body would be flown back. This means that the official death certificate would be issued there. The legal place of death would be where their certificate was issued. Longyearbyen might be the most popular case in the book, but it isn't the only town that I would be respectfully roasting. Fukushima, Japan, they banned dying for spiritual belief. Puno, France, banned it as a way of manipulating the government to build a cemetery in some other places, at least for a period of time until a new cemetery was built. And the same goes for Falciano and Massa, Italy. These examples just scratch the surface of the amount of time I can steal from you for naming places. Turns out, banning death is a surprisingly common hobby for small towns with big issues. In retrospect, Longyearbyen wasn't just banning death for fun. With frozen ground, preserved viruses, no hospital, and a population that mostly passes through, this Arctic town had no choice but to make life and Zeph work a little differently. Yet somehow, it's just a regular Tuesday in Longyearbyen. So, if you're planning your next vacation, maybe skip the places where Def is banned, unless you're really confident. You know what is fun? Weird facts. So if you like this one, check out some of my other videos if you please. For now, I'll catch you on the next one.